Alright. Everything's a little, there's a couple areas where it's proud in spots. I mean, you know, but it didn't get down all the way, but sanding will take care of that. So it looks good. A little bit of glue squeeze out. That should come off when I sand it. Alright. There she is, the 220. I got my little divot repaired, or filled, I guess, glue, and I actually took some shavings of cherry and put those in there as well. And then, you know, glue and dust. So it's a little shiny, but it's better than a hole. And then the only other thing that I mean, all my joints are nice here. But this one right here kind of opened up on me as I sanded. So I must not have had kind of a square corner there. It beveled away, but nothing I can do about it now. Hopefully when I get some finish on there, that'll kind of disappear a little bit. So all in all, I'm very pleased with my first attempt here at some inlay work. So that's going to be my field, and I've got to get to work on the border here. This is that joint that opened up on me a little bit. Other than that, they all look pretty nice. I'm going to use this bit to make some molding to trim out the panel or the field of my headboard, and I just have to get the height of the bit set to the effect I want, and then adjust my fence in and out to get the depth of cut I'm looking for. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run some material, and then I'll come back and show you how it looks. Here's the luxury of having two fence setups. So I can go from my molding cut to my rip cut here, and I'll have to do this about 2 more times. I think should get me enough. Yeah, 2 more. So mold, rip, and you know, rinse and repeat. But you can see that edge I've got there. That's what I'm looking for right there. And when I rip it, I want this reveal to be about the same right here. Alright, making progress. Just evened up the corners here where they didn't meet perfectly. So I've got that taken care of. You know, obviously this is installed at this hard maple border. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but this is a cherry ply, and then the accent pieces are hard maple. So I'm just going through and sanding all this, and outside edge, I'm done with the top edge mostly, knocked off the corners. You kind of know the procedure there. And then I want to do all this. I want to knock these corners off on the inside here before I install that molding, because it'll be a lot easier to do now with that out of the way. So that's where I'm at. Won't be, I think, later, in maybe an hour or so, I should be able to start cutting and installing that molding, and then that'll be basic. All right, you get to the point where, you know, you're taking 4 and 5 strokes at a time to 2 or 3, and now I'm to the point where I'm going to take a couple more, come back, and then it'll just be individual strokes until I get this to drop right in there. One more stroke here. It's very close. There you go. So this, when I put this joint in, I'm gonna have to put these two pieces in at the same time. Put some glue down there, drop them in, and then it'll be all set to go. Okay, I got it sanded up. Basically what I did with the cove here was just use a 1/2-inch dowel, and when you run it through the router, sometimes you end up with little ridges here and there. You know, you don't get that perfect cut. So this just evened that out a little bit, and that feels really good. You know, if I had some of these ridges that were left over, if you put finish on that, you'd see that translating through your finish. But this is smoothed out enough now that that's going to look good. So then after doing that, I took my foam block here and just backed it up with some used 150 and kind of took these hard edges off of this molding, and that feels good to the touch now as well. So the last thing you want there is to have your hand rake across that in the middle of the night and open up a wound. So I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna clean up the dust and debris here. The one thing I wanted to show you was some of these drops that I had made good clamping calls, because this sits in there that way, and then I just took and they made up perfectly this way, so that lip made it up with the opposite lip, and that gave me a nice clamping pressure to pull this into that corner. I'll just clean her up, get some tools put away, and get this thing ready to put some finish on it.